Now, ladies and gentlemen, time for the national anthem of Samoa and New Zealand, as performed by Benson Wilson.
Samoa tulai masisi alafua la palelea. Samoa tulai masisi alafua la palelea. Vaina fetuolo amiamiai le fa'alonga le o Yesu na maliwai mo Samoa oi Samoa umau la pule awa e te fefe o le atua lo tapapai o lo tasa o lo tonga Samoa tulai yangi alafua la God of nations at thy feet, in the bank of love we meet. Hear our voices we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's riposte from the shafts of strife and war. Make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go then with our main event of the evening. Hennessy Sports and Duco Events present 12 rounds of boxing from the WBO Heavyweight Championship of the world. Firstly, to make his ring walk to the red corner, bringing with him a perfect professional fight record, the challenger from Manchester, England, Hughie Fury!
from the dressing room, out through the tunnel, and into a cauldron of noise to the tunes of Hughie. He looks composed, he looks ready, he's been prepared for this moment of his life. And 2 years on, nearly from his cousin's finest night and the big upset in Germany, while the bookmakers are trading this one much more even. There's very little to split them. Slight odds on favourite Joe Parker in the build-up to this one. Slight odds against Hughie Fury. And we have a battle of the 20-somethings, the early to mid-20-something unbeaten heavyweights. And everything in his life has been building up to this moment. The big question is he ready for it? Locked away up in the Windermere Dales, where he's been old school training. A world champion in Billy Joe Saunders. And there's Tyson in the background too. He couldn't have better backing. He couldn't have, in truth, a better opportunity as well on home territory. And perhaps that injury that ruled him out of a trip across to New Zealand back in May has been a blessing in disguise, because it has brought about this opportunity belatedly for Hughie Fury. Barry, how does he look?
Yeah, focused. You can see he's in that zone, they call it now. Just think, the tactics going through his mind. You know, he looks relaxed, which is a confident for us. The thing that he's relaxed and looking forward to the challenge ahead. It's a big challenge, a big ask for him. But look at it, he's up for it.
Well, at first it looked like a forced smile, but it becomes more of an easy wear across that young face. On the final steps towards what has been a leaping ambition for years now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the champion makes his ring walk to the blue corner, bringing with him a perfect professional fight record. Ladies and gentlemen, from South Auckland, New Zealand, the reigning WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Joseph Parker!
To the strains of the haka in the background, performed by the Ngāti Maori tribe and led out by his Samoan chief uncles Roddy and Sook. The very relaxed, positive, confident champion Joseph Parker. He's been dumbed down by just about every pundit, every boxing fan, as the weak link in the heavyweight division. But here is a 25-year-old who is only on the up and perhaps getting better. Barry, has he been mistakenly marked as the soft touch, or is he a coming force? Is this a coming out party in the UK with greater riches just around the corner?
He's a good fighter, and he won the title against Andy Ruiz. He won a stand-up performance. It was a difficult fight. He got over that hurdle. His first defence wasn't great, to be honest, against a really tall guy who was tricky, and I guess that's where the questions were asked, and that's why he's been deemed as the weakest link. But he's still a good fighter. He's a busy fighter who can punch, so you have to respect him.
Kevin Barry, his coach, is in the background, just in behind, as the smiling Parker makes his way into the arena. Barry said in the build-up, we wouldn't have chosen Hughie Fury. He wouldn't have been on our radar as a likely choice to defend, but We want to throw the dice. We want to come to the UK. We know this is where heavyweight boxing is right now. Bar Deontay Wilder, who's got his assignment in the States sometime soon. But this is where it's at, and we want to come and get a piece of the action. They're rolling the big dice.
Well, this is the hotbed of the heavyweight division is in Great Britain. With Tyson Fury when he comes back, Anthony Joshua obviously leading the way right now, Hughie Fury and all the other prospects and world challenge contenders we have in this country. This is where it's at. So he wants to come here, make a statement against Hughie Fury and call all the other big names out. That's his mission here tonight.
Impressed by the way he looks, Parker. He is athletic. He can be outboxed, perhaps he can be drawn into a battle, but that's not necessarily Hughie Fury's plan. Everyone's suggesting that Fury will try and outbox him and maybe walk him onto something. Or maybe that doesn't account for Parker's game plan and his approach and how he's going to go about things tonight.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Time now for our main event of the evening. Hennessy Sports and Duco Events present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Heavyweight Championship of the World. WBO Supervisor ringside is John Duggan from Chicago, Illinois. This bout sanctioned here in the UK by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge, Alistair Hayes. 3 judges appointed at ringside are Rocky Young from Miami, Florida, Terry O'Connor from Birmingham, England, and John Madfis from Boston, Massachusetts. Timekeeper on the bell is Gary Grennan from Burnley, and upon the sound of the bell, the third man in the ring is our referee in charge of this bout, introducing Marcus McDonnell from Twickenham. Those are the officials, and they are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the teams are in the corners with their boxers, and they are ready. Manchester, England, are you ready? Boxers, it's time to go to work. For the fight fans ringside at the Manchester Arena, England, and the viewers joining us right around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started! In the ring now, ladies and gentlemen, 2 undefeated boxers. Firstly, in the red corner with his trainer and father, Peter Fury, on the scales at 16 stone 10 pounds, bringing to the ring a perfect fight record. 20 fights, 20 victories, 10 finishing by way of KO. Tonight he's wearing the black shorts trimmed with gold and enters the ring as the reigning WBO Intercontinental Champion. This, his first challenge for a professional world title, and he makes it right here in his home city. He is the heavyweight fighting pride of Manchester, England. Introducing the undefeated challenger, Hughie Fury! And across the ring stands our proud champion this evening, boxing in the blue corner, standing with his trainer, Kevin Barry. 17 stone 7 pounds is official weight for this contest. He also enters the ring with a perfect fight record. 23 visits as a professional, 23 victories, 18 finishing by way of KO. He's wearing the solid black shorts trimmed with red. Boxing out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, via way of his native South Auckland, New Zealand. Introducing the undefeated boxer tonight, making the second defense. He is the reigning and defending WBO Heavyweight Champion of the World, Joseph Parker! Referee Marcus McDonnell will now issue his final instructions to both boxers.
Right, boys, you both know the rules of boxing. Don't explain to you. One thing I will say, obey my instructions at all times. Watch your heads, keep it in. Any questions? Let's go to work.
A steely stare from both men. Final words from Marcus McDonnell, who shouldn't have been in the ring tonight. Of course, let's not forget Terry O'Connor was originally earmarked and penciled in for this assignment, but the Parker camp objected because O'Connor had officiated a couple of Fury's bout before, and eventually, under that sort of pressure, the board have sanctioned McDonnell in his stead. But that's the P's and Q's. We've dotted the I's and T's, and there's always something special about a heavyweight world title fight, Barry.
Well, of course, with that anticipation that anything can happen with these big guys.
Parker wants to close the gap as soon as he can, tied up by Fury, who will, of course, look to box on the back foot. Both men impressing in the way they've looked composed and relaxed in the build-up.
We're interested to see Marcus McDonnell on Fury early to hold him, because he's going to have to do that a lot where Parker's so strong and bullish, and he's going to have to tie him up when he gets him on the ropes.
And Fury's also going to have to remember and try and look for the counters when those rushes come from the Kiwi.
Well, Parker's got to get on Fury early and make him feel his power. Take a little bit of confidence away from the young man with the good legs. And Fury got to do that, establish that jab.
And a good jab it was, and there he was with the encouraging comeback sign. He's trying to maul him here, Parker.
Joseph, back in the head.
From a nation who, of course, are familiar with the rock and maul. And here he is, the first of his type to win a heavyweight world title, creating his own bit of history. Can he hang on to it? Can he enhance it? Can he add to it?
Good movement here from Fury so far.
Excellent movement. Made Parker miss, punishes him with a jab too.
Just going to be a little bit busy with the jab though, Fury. Moving, you know, he's frustrating Parker, not allowing it to mount any attacks, but he's not landing himself.
And he can't be lazy, can't be flicking it.
Good there from Parker.
Not really landing with much, but the left hook seems to be the punch he's looking for when he gets in close.
Good, clever there from Hughie Fury. Good, the fast feet, little spin when he was on the ropes, and with the slower feet of Parker, seeing him just sort of caught in no man's land, jump right on him straight away.
And he's got to punish him for every single mistake or little gap that he creates, Fury. A smile. Maybe it is a sneer on the face of Parker. I'm sure he expected this. I'm sure he's trained for it. As ever, Barry, in the land of the big men, there's a spectacular moment. There's fireworks, a big punch just a moment away.
He's just struggling to reach the target clean at the minute, Joseph Parker. Even there, left hook was blocked by the elbow of Fury, and the right hand just on the shoulder.
And Fury promised us because of effective illness over the last couple of years, we're going to see a different guy, that he is energised, and the strength and enthusiasm he has for training now is way beyond anything in the past, and we're going to see a different Fury. But to be honest, the Fury we've seen in the past technically might just do early on.
Walk them down with your double jab. Okay, off the movement, back him up with the double jab. Okay, then our combos are going to come off that. Alright? He's walking onto the left hook when you got him on the rope. You've got to anticipate where he is going.
Yeah? Make sure you tie him nice and clean, yeah? And look, walk him onto the shoulder like that. With the right hand over. Not hook your right hand yet, yeah? When you get a chance, moving, come off, bang, bang. Yeah? And just keep being elusive, look. Just keep peppering him on the jab every time.
10 seconds, corners.
Well, they're happy, and I think I heard Kevin Barry say in the Parker corner, you need to throw a double jab.
And when you're boxing someone like a Fury who moves quite well, that jab, especially heavyweights, that jab, a lot of the Americans do it. They hit you on the shoulder. They just stop your movement. And I think that's what Parker needs to do to Fury. He needs to jab into the chest, stop that movement, and then hit him with that right hand. Good right hand there from Fury on the spin.
There was nearly a left hook back from Parker too. Fury's been grinding himself into shape up in the lakes, where he's been doing old school training, chopping wood, I should say, chopping logs and throwing tyres, all sorts, pounding the hills.
He's not going to be able to stop moving, is he, though? For 12 rounds, Fury. Once he holds his feet, that's Parker's invitation to let his hands go.
He's been
constant movement.
Yeah, he's been training 12 to 15 rounds, Barry, hasn't he? Different sparring partner every round.
Well, Tyson did it against Klitschko, so he knows it can be done.
His eyes look wide and alert, Fury. Parker's trying to do as his corner were bidding him. He's trying to lead with that jab to the chest, maybe just to set other things up, maybe just slow Fury down.
Just needs a bigger step after the first jab with Joseph Parker. Just get a little bit closer to the target for the second most important jab.
Then Parker out of range.
Good jab there from Fury. And again,
Not putting much behind it, just kind of peppering away with it.
Right, yeah, you know, and it was the same in the first round. You know, he wasn't much on the shots, but he was just peppering in with jabs. But at some point, Fury needs, you know, he don't want to hold his feet for too long. He needs to put some weight behind that right hand or that jab every now and again.
Nice little feint from Fury, changing angles, switching one way and t'other. Oohs and ass on the ground. Every time there's a collision of flesh.
More Parker was the one committing himself, but Fury was inches off that short right hand there from Parker.
Couldn't quite spin him on his heels that time, Fury.
But the feet's still fast enough to make Parker fall a little bit short with the work. This is the sort of pace he wanted as well with Hughie Fury.
Yeah, but it's already slowed down. Well, it is captivating. This is exactly the sort of tactical setup that we imagined.
Don't wait for him to jab and then you jab. Jab with it, be first. Okay? Okay? Head back. Now you jab in the body roll.
How do you feel? Yeah. Deep breaths? Deep breaths. Good.
Just missing by 2 inches on that last one, mate.
Listen, I'm totally focused, watching what he's doing. He's not even seen that yet. When he does, you catch him well with it, yeah? And don't forget your moves, yeah, now.
10 seconds,
Jab,
quarters.
upward, shoulder in.
Second round, round 3.
All happy in the Fury corner with the movement, the elusivity of their man. And let's not forget, in his 15th pro fight, he beat and he pretty much toyed with Andrei Rudenko, who'd just come off an encounter with Lucas Brown, which was give and take, and he had a good scrap with Povetkin just the other month. So the talent's always been there.
They're only cuffing shots there from Joseph Parker, but at least he's getting into range, and that's what he needs to. As long as he can get into range, he'll be happy and let his hands go. And Hughie's sitting on the back foot quite well, so he's even a harder target to reach. With that left foot out a little bit wide as well.
It depends how the judges like exchanges like that. Like how do the judges view that? Because you know Parker's coming forward and the flesh scrapes together, but they're missing. Nothing much is really happening.
And that's where the jab, the peppering of the jab is very important. Good right hands. again, it's not a hurtful shot, but it's one of those like a slap in the face. Really, no, it's an annoying sort of spark. And frustrating as well, frustrating for Parker.
Again, Parker missing wildly. Fury's not landing lots of his own.
No, but I think for more important, in the early rounds where Parker will be fresher, he's making him miss. And when you miss, that takes a little bit more out of you.
He's gone the 12 rounds on 3 occasions, Parker, so far, with that really good points win over Carlos Takam, who, on the bar of the loss to Povetkin, has been considered one of the sort of danger men in the division.
There will be a point, there will be a time Parker will close the gap. He will be able to poke out, he will be able to land at some point. Fury's got to keep this movement up, this variation of changing the direction all the time. Never sticking with the same pattern. And always flicking that jab out.
And relying on the movement with the hand so low too. Well, he got a letter from Sir Alex Ferguson, would you believe, Fury, telling him to play the man, not the occasion. Play Joseph Parker, don't get caught up in the crowd, and I think it's fair to say he's doing exactly that so far.
It's discipline from Fury. Not always pretty to watch, but this right hand here, using the ropes. So saying that earlier, using the ropes very well, Fury. And it's not that pretty to watch, but it's effective. And that was a nice little shot there.
Tying this man up too. Up close.
He's boxing well here, Fury. Boxing the fight that he wanted. The movement. Only engaging when he's ready to engage.
Settle up off the double jab first. And then we show him the jab and we fire the hook. Okay, it's there as well. Both those shots are there for us.
They've been a good team together, based largely out in Vegas. Coming home to New Zealand to some of the big fights. That's Kevin Barry, who's got plenty of experience himself. A medalist back in the 80s at the Olympics. 1984 it was. Here we go then, into the 4th.
He's got to quicken up those feet, Parker. He needs a feint or something.
He's trying. He is trying, Parker. And he's got plenty of supporters with him. The national anthem, or anthems I should say, were very well supported in the crowd tonight.
But he's trying to double up the jab, and he's trying to hit the body to stop the lateral movement of Fury. But the feet are not as fast as his hands, and that's his problem.
Shot from Fury, that was a cracker, picked that uppercut beautifully.
Fantastic. And again, that all comes from the variety, the changing, the back and forth, going left, going right. And then Parker's not sure quite where to commit himself.
He looks right across immediately to his corner after that, Parker too.
I've got to be honest, as long as Fury can, because this is where Parker will be at the sharpest, you feel, so as long as Fury can keep this movement up, it's his fight.
Defense good, that's kind of shoulder roll and getting the glove back up on the ropes. He's ticking all the boxes so far. I think the game plan's working.
Okay, break! What's your edge? Joseph.
Again, Parker's trying to make the fight. Not loads of scoring shots from Fury, but just the odd eye-catching one.
Well, that uppercut alone is the only stand-up punch of the round, isn't it? But the jabs as well, they just pile up the punch. A nice little left hook there from Parker. A little bit open-handed, but at least he's hitting the target for the first time in a round and a half.
Yeah, and I think that's it. You've just got to take your successes of your Parker, however they come. That jab to the body.
Two good body shots there from Parker.
A bit of blood.
Yep. Clash of heads, I think.
There's a bit of blood. It must be coming from Fury.
Just with his back flush at the minute, Fury.
Wild swings from Parker.
Hit in the eye. On the nose, maybe.
There's definitely a cut for Peter Fury to attend to.
But he closed the gap a little bit at the end of the round there, did Parker, but not enough.
We have a cut, accidental clash of heads.
Accidental clash of heads. Marcus McDonnell went straight across to the corner. He's just informed the judges as well. There's that beautiful uppercut, Barry.
And then, like you said, he leaned back, tied the Parker up as well, didn't allow him any work. Just see the little half a step back. So he was in range for Parker. Parker commits himself. Half a step back there from Fury, and then the uppercut. And there's the clash of heads after that good right hand on Fury. And then the body shots there from Parker. Oh.
It was actually Fury coming back forward, wasn't it?
Seconds out, round 5.
You see how he comes through that now, but he's boxing tremendously well, sticking to the plan.
Well, at this stage it looks more a nick, but no, it's already trickling a bit of blood actually. So let's just hope that doesn't figure in any way, because it's been a composed, disciplined start from Fury.
But it's running down near the eye as well. That might cause a problem maybe.
Just on the inside, isn't it, Barry? And, you know, another couple of rounds of this, you fancy Parker become even more frustrated as he tries to get a right hand through.
Yeah, he landed that right hand there, Parker.
Time out, go there.
More encouraging signs for the New Zealand contingent.
Just a scuffing left hook there from Parker.
Cheap shot, cheap shot.
New Zealand corner getting a bit more animated. In the sense their man maybe beginning to find a foothold in the fight.
That's their best round so far, isn't it?
And let's not forget, there's lots of missing. There's not all that many clean scoring punches here so far through 5 rounds.
Just saying that Hughie's not punching with the knuckle part of the glove, he's punching with the outside of the glove. Looked good there from Parker, but actually that right hand hit the arm of Hughie Fury.
Another right hand nearly getting through.
Well, I think it caught the target. Hughie just took, I think, when he leans back on those loose ropes, I have to say, just taking the sting out of the shot. But it was a scoring punch.
Parker's closing the gap. He's just beginning to let his hands go.
But because Parker's struggling to reach the target, he's not turning his hands over. So he's just taking a little bit of sting out of the shots. They're having a better round here, Joseph Parker.
Well, nearly Fury. I was just about to say, Barry, Fury's got to remember to be throwing enough counters back just to deter Parker, just to remind him if he's going to come forward, there might just be something waiting for him.
Of course, he got a little bit more weight on the jab. It's a good flicking jab and it's keeping him at bay, but every now and again, just step behind it, commit yourself with it. And the work hard over the legs. Fury.
Solid, better round though from Parker. Very much the matador and the bull here as we approach halfway.
And they'll be happy now, Parker's corner. They'll be feeling maybe that pressure starting to tell with that cut maybe upsetting Fury a little bit. There's that right hand there, landing flush, but maybe just the power. Yeah, he just leans on the ropes there, doesn't he, Fury? He just takes the sting out of the shot. I thought that was the best round for Joseph Parker so far.
We know he's awkward, keep breaking them down. Those body shots are working beautifully, right? Head movement, explode them. Put your feet underneath you, back them up with your double jab.
Seconds bonus.
Don't even think about that, nothing. Look, make sure you turn away from him.
Seconds out. Round 6.
Hughie Fury just saying to his son not to worry about the cut. That's nothing. I think if Team Parker came in here looking for the UK plan to be explosive and something of a statement, I think they'll settle now just for retaining the title, no matter how.
Good fast hands there from Fury. And a tight little response there from Joseph Parker.
So elusive though, Fury, isn't he? I wonder how the judges are scoring those little skirmishes when Parker does manage to close the gap. Did he land a left hand there?
Again, it's a cuffing shot there, just a little bit of a slap with the open glove. It's a fast jab, isn't it, from Fury, really fast.
He's back on it now. Important that he does, but Parker's not able to sort of build up a head of steam on the back of that better fifth round.
Doesn't want to be there, Fury.
Surprisingly, Parker lets him out.
Well, he knows he's being set for an assault. Oh, beautiful shot. Fantastic uppercut there from Hughie Fury.
Twice he's landed that. And again.
Oh, good right hand, left hook though, back from Parker.
Both having their successes in this sixth round. Parker with certainly the better record, punching record that is, with 18 stoppages, and his 23 so far is again on the end of the right hand, but some of it getting through.
Having a good finish to the round, isn't he, Parker? After Hughie's better boxing, dominating the first half.
And so the final 30 or so seconds then could still be up for grabs of the flurry. Fury has to remember to be busy. Despite all the good work on the back foot, he's got to be busy enough too.
Just got to rush him now, Joseph Parker. Didn't quite hit the target, that right hand. Just didn't turn enough in the waist there, Fury.
No, but the crowd were onto it, weren't they? And every sort of little flurry, retaliation, jab or miss from Fury is being cheered.
We stay focused, okay, the chin is down, we stay down low.
Kevin Barry with the advice. Is Parker starting to get his stuff together, Barry?
Well, he's getting into range, but look what happens when he doesn't, when he doesn't have success when he's in range. He has to take those uppercuts, and I think that's the risk that Parker has to take. So, just a little bit short there with the right hand there, Fury. The crowd went wild, but it wasn't quite a scoring punch. But Parker's got to commit himself. He's got to put that right glove underneath his chin when he comes forward. The uppercut's the only shot he's got to really be worried about for the power.
10 seconds bonus.
You can't move nowhere near like you're going to. No. So look, good
Seconds
shot.
out.
Right hand.
Round 7.
There we go then, into the second half of the fight. Joseph Parker, the champion from New Zealand making the second defence of this WBO title, formerly in the possession of Vladimir Klitschko on 3 separate occasions and reigns, the last of which lasting a mighty 7 years until a certain Tyson Fury came along 2 years ago. And now his cousin on the cusp with the potential for some more family history tonight for the same belt.
That's better though from Parker, rushing. Quickening the feet out, trying to rush Fury. And let his hands go.
Halfway, Barry. Have you got it on the scorecards?
I got Fury a few rounds up. I think he's boxed well. Yeah, I think he's boxed really well.
Even first 4, last 2 to Parker. Crowd starting to get into it. Thankfully, the cut hasn't become an issue.
He still looks strong in his legs, Hughie Fury. The Parker is getting closer though. That's always a worry, but he's not letting his hands go. Here now, Parker should be throwing punches now.
Oh, landed a right hand. Oh, is he unsteady? They just shouted from the Kiwi corner, he's hurt. Fury still looks alert.
Lovely movement there from Fury. The Parker has that sense that he only got to catch him with one. It looks like he feels he only got to catch him with one real clean shot.
One of the first times he was actually trapped in the corner, Fury. Maybe just the pace slowing Barry in the final minute, the 7th.
Yeah. This is where Hughie needs a couple of bigger shots with the right hand or the uppercut. Well, he's peppering with the jab and they're scoring punches, but the standout shots from Parker might be enough to edge him the round. Good movement still. Still good legs off Hughie Fury. Still changing direction, still making it hard for Parker to walk him down.
Well, after that worrying moment over in the far corner, there's a degree of composure back in the work of Fury. And he almost caught him with the right hand too. Well, end of the 7th. Watched on by Amir and Richie. Richie, are you worried that Parker's getting into it now?
I think that Parker's getting closer and closer, but I still believe that Fury's boxing a clever contest with his jab. What he's got to do, he's got to improve his accuracy and his timing with his right hand. The jab's doing the work, he's setting himself up, but it's the accuracy, he's got to improve that and bringing him onto that right hand. That's what he's got to do. So it's a clever contest at the moment from Fury.
It is indeed. Amir, is there anything else you'd like to see Hughie Fury do?
I think it'll be nice if Hughie Fury, maybe sits on his shots a little bit more, gets that jab in and stays there instead of being on his toes a bit too much. But I mean, with what I'm watching, I think he's putting a great performance on. He just needs to sit on his shots and get that backhand going, because in the last round, as we saw, he threw some good backhands and caught his opponent with.
Thanks very much, chaps. Captivating. So nicely poised, Barry, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Hughie's boxing the fight that he wanted to fight. I think it's his tempo right now. Obviously, it's always going to be a risk against a big guy like Parker. You know you're going to have to take a few shots.
And if the pace slows in the second half of the fight, will that suit Fury?
Well, I think you think that with a slower pace always suits the technician, the better technical, better boxer. But he has a chance to put the set of the attacks, put his work together. As long as he got the energy in his legs, he'll be fine. But if Parker can close the gap, which he's slowly been starting to do as the rounds go on, then it becomes a more dangerous game. But Parker's okay closing the gap, but he got to let his hands go.
I wonder how the judges are seeing this one. Nice little right hand at the start of the round from Fury. Still, it's Parker though coming forward, starting to swing a little more wildly now. Maybe taking the chips out of his pocket and just beginning to push them into the middle of the ring.
Well, that's the gamble he needs to take, because he's behind now at the halfway stage, so past the halfway stage. So So he needs to take that gamble. He needs to force and panic, make Fury panic if he can.
Trying to set it up with a jab, Parker. How much is this chasing, trying to manoeuvre Fury, following Fury round the ring? How much is it taken out of him?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's not so much like following him. It's every time he changes direction. That's the frustrating part for Parker, because he has to. If he's supposed to mount an attack and Fury changes direction, you got to reset yourself and go again. See, Parker's not cutting the ring off. He's following him around. He's not allowing Hughie to get all the way around the ring, but he should be edging a little bit closer every time with the foot, little half steps.
I suppose also, though, Barry, I mean, judges are supposed to take into account the weight of a punch and the authority of it, etc., etc. And, you know, if Fury's kind of flicking away with a jab, he's making him miss. Parker's not landing. Maybe these are close rounds.
But Fury's winning them. He's not dominating the rounds, but he's winning them because for the most part, he's only landing any scoring punches. Not throughout the fight, but for the majority of the rounds.
There's a jab on the chest from Parker. He had that sort of excited, energetic flurry at the start of the round.
So even though Fury caught Parker there, that's what Parker wants. They should get in a gunfight, in a slinging match. That's where Parker's got an opportunity to land the bigger shots.
Oh, just missed with the uppercut again, Fury. That's been perhaps the punch of the night so far for him.
I think Parker's got to take that gamble soon.
Feet just tangling. And there's a few moments where Parker's looking back across to his corner for advice. And I wouldn't say he's dispirited, I wouldn't say he's lost out there. Is he losing out there?
You've got to give me more movement. Hey, Joe, it's not just this. Move your hands and explode it. Stay down low. Okay, get closer.
He's a champion. You understand? You've got to do more than that. Yeah? I want you to feint, pop, and even put the right hand. Stop there, look. Back foot. Touch, bang. Get a bit more busier with this. You'll give the rounds away otherwise. Yeah? Deep breaths.
That's kind of the point I'm making, Barry. He's saying that the jab's fine. You've got to be busier with that right hand.
You've got to make sure. I think that's all. You've got to make sure. So again, a little flurry, straight punches.
Okay, guys, let's go. Let's clear the ring.
And then you do, but I think he's doing enough to win the rounds. That's for sure.
Seconds out, round 9.
No panic. I think they might just have a breakthrough. It's a bit of the tape needs tightened up. And Fury's right glove, the very glove that his father and coach was asking him to get busier with as we head into the 9th. We're pressing on, folks. I wonder how the Parker team, where they thought they'd be at this point of the contest. Oh, he nearly got through with that right hand.
And the left hook as well there from Parker.
He's buying a ticket. Parker, I don't think he caught it with the full force.
Step away.
No, Fury's got a natural ability just to take the sting out of the shot, but it was a good enough scoring punch there from Parker.
And he's feinting Parker for the first time. Maybe he's just starting to think about what he's doing again. Genuine concern among the Fury fans on the far side. That's better.
Fantastic footwork there from Fury.
Just a little smear from that cut again, which hasn't been an issue for the last few rounds.
Just needed a little bit more weight, didn't he, on the right hand, Fury, when he spun him lovely and just needed a little bit more weight.
Just a reminder, Barry, that the threat's always there from Parker.
And that's the gamble he has to take now, Pat. You've got to rush him. Constantly rush him now. Good from Fury.
Is he taking a few more chances? Is that a good idea or no?
Crowd cheering every time he lets his hands go, but that last combination never landed, but that certainly did.
Good response from Fury after that big, excited flurry from Parker. That landed on the glove. And that might have sneaked through.
Yeah, good right hand there from Parker.
And he's trying to rough him up, Parker.
Took it well though, Fury, but it was a good shot from Parker. The first one never hit, the second one was a good shot.
And certainly that cut has opened up again from Fury. And it's appeared as though Parker's made an impression in this round.
Oh, he most definitely have. But to be fair, Fury's taken it well and he stayed relatively composed as well, which is a good sign.
There's when he has to get back. That was he tried with the right hand. Those are the moments he's got to counter punch, Fury.
This is where the slower feet just been letting Parker down in this fight. But all the telling punches have really come from Joseph Parker in this round.
Nothing landing there in that skirmish. Good defence from Fury, but the damage maybe has been done early in the round. Well, is that a start of something for Joseph Parker? Or can Fury regain his composure and get back to what he was doing so well?
Well, because of the footwork, there's a lovely little spin off the ropes there from Fury. Because of the footwork of Fury, you can't say there's a good shot from Parker there, that second right hand. You can't sustain an attack, Joseph Parker. That's where the problem lies. That one was a little bit wide, but this one is a better shot there. Partly blocked though. I think you were right, Alex.
Stay tight. First 30 seconds, he's going to be coming.
Yeah.
So stay tight.
Use more feints with your hands, yeah? Yeah. Listen, you're 3 rounds away now. Yeah. What's this, the 9th? 10th. You had it.
10 seconds.
You're there, aren't you?
Yeah. Come on! New champ, come on!
Come on.
8 seconds out. Round 10.
A little bit of motivation. The finishing line is in sight, was the encouragement in the Fury corner, but still, maybe he's got to go and win this contest from here on in.
To be honest, you've got to feel that he is 3 rounds from being heavyweight champion of the world.
Parker might feel on the back of that 9th that he's about to come on strong. Nice jab.
So fast, isn't it, for a big fella? So fast. I think that's been the trouble. The fast feet that change direction and a fast jab have been all the things that have just been offsetting Parker's work.
You've got 2 corners, 2 sets of fans who want exactly the opposite thing. Yeah. Fury followers just want no drama, as many jabs as you can possibly land, and the Parker team, they want something explosive.
Well, you have to play to your strengths, and that's what Fury's doing, play to his strength. The footwork, the fast hands.
Shot. I think he might have been off balance and turned around, but still scoring shots from Fury. Lovely work and balance from him. And again, he caught that big right hand on the gloves, Barry. He's cushioned those shots well from Parker. It might appear to the judges that they're scoring though.
That's a good shot there though from Parker.
Who's an ass?
Again, it's not quite landing fully connected, but it's grazing the target. But you can see the frustration, can't you, in Joseph Parker's face. He just can't pin his man down. But all his strength and power he wants to unleash on him, he just can't pin him down.
And actually, the shots that have landed Barry throughout, single shots here and there, Fury's taken them well.
Well, he has, yeah. Well, I think he's got a natural ability just to ride, take the sting out of the shot. Just every now and again, if Fury could just put a little bit more weight, especially in that right hand, it would just rubber stamp on how dominant he is in some of these rounds.
3-punch combination, finishing with a little left hook to the body from Fury, who's back on track, it seems, in this round.
If he were to win this fight now, Hughie Fury, which he's on his way to doing, you would feel. It's the footwork that's winning the fight, that's obvious. And for Parker, it's the footwork that's lost in the fight.
Well, that was an important round for Fury. Let's hear from Amir. And first of all, Richie, how are you scoring it?
I've got Parker just ahead, to be quite honest. I think that a lot of the rounds are close. I understand what Barry's talking about the footwork and the movement. It's good, but sometimes I just don't think it's enough. I think he's just got to do a little bit more. So I've got Parker ahead myself. But yeah, a lot of these rounds are very, very close.
Yeah, I think it is a difficult fight to score. You got the come-forward fighter, Amir, haven't you? And the back foot boxer, which makes it tricky. How are you seeing it?
It's a very difficult fight to score. Most of the rounds have been very close. I think Parker is now putting pressure on, and these are the championship rounds where Fury definitely needs to push Parker back and get some big shots in, because these are the rounds that the judges are going to see and they're going to choose who the winner is going to be. So I think what Fury needs to do now is put the pressure on and push him back now.
Seal it. I think what we're saying is it's close, and who knows how the judges have got it. Barry, how have you got it?
I got Hughie 3 points up.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised how the judges are seeing this. It's the classic come-forward fighter who's missing and not landing much, and a back foot boxer who's making him miss, countering occasionally with some shots, but not necessarily with real authority. You could see it either way.
I can understand what they're saying. I understand what Richie's saying with, you know, cause the weight of the shots with Parker, with Fury, sorry, there's nothing behind the shots. So where do you deem it being a scoring punch?
But all the eye-catching shots, you know, those uppercuts which Fury just threw another one there, have all come from the Manchester man.
Oh, nice effort for the body there from Parker.
But again, good movement throughout that, in and out of range from Fury.
I just think the footwork has let Parker down. He hasn't been able to close the target quick enough. Like, you know, he got to let his hands go now, Parker.
Oh, nice little short shot again. That's been the punch for Fury all night. It's been so elusive. I'm really not sure how many punches Parker's landed at all over the sort of 11 and a half rounds so far.
Good jab there again from Fury.
Maybe it's a bit like Golovkin Canelo all over again.
Oh, good from Parker though. Fury trying to be a little bit too cute. And Parker landing with the right hand, left hook. Again, it's not on the chest, not the chin, but still the score the target. See, can you see that there with Parker, open-handed glove? But he's struggling so much to reach, to get close enough to land. But he's having to overextend, and he can't turn his gloves over to fully connect, to get that power to make Fury hold his feet.
And you must kind of get a bit uptight, Barry, physically and mentally when that's the case.
Massively frustrating, chasing the guy who won't stand still.
There's no doubt about Fury's fitness, and you know that food intolerant skin condition that blighted him and it effectively weakened his body for all that time. Clearly an issue. Good right hand to be strong.
Good right hand there from Parker, and that's the difference. See, with all these rounds when none of it happens, a big shot from Parker could switch it in his favour.
Back in the edge, back in the edge.
Still Parker moves forward. One or two big punches for him there. Fury elusive again. There's one more round. Who will be champion of the world?
Water!
As the strains of Can I reverberate here around the arena musically, and the big question now is, can Hughie Fury push himself to greater heights for the final 3 minutes? He might need to.
Again though, see that right hand from Parker, it connected, but Hughie just taking the sting out of the shot. I don't even know if he knows that he's doing it.
What's up, Peter?
It's not. Have a drink. It is.
10 seconds.
Keep your head still. Keep your head still. Keep his head still. Thank you.
Come on. Last man, come on.
Seconds up.
Marcus McDonnell applauding them both back to the centre of the ring, and you fancy Joe Parker, who's going to let it all hang out.
But he's away from home. I think it's been a frustrating night for Parker. I think he's got to go for it, me. Well, that's how I see it, of course. You know what?
Oh, big right hand there from Fury. Oh, there's one from Parker, gets through.
That's the first time he's hit him with a full flush punch.
Fury didn't blink. He's back in back foot mode. Parker whacking him on the shins almost.
I think Fury caught his head on the cameraman then, I think.
Well, he took that big right hand. He had his own success, and then Parker got through, and that's probably Parker's best shot of the fight. There's certainly no problem with Parker's fitness too. Let's make that point.
Still got to fully commit himself though for the second half of this round now, Parker. Got to cement this round to get him on my card, to get him near close. It's not going to be enough on my card. Oh, good shot again.
Both getting through there up close in that skirmish.
The Parker shot was the bigger right hand.
Well, they're almost losing their voice next to him. It's in the Kiwi corner as Parker misses wildly with an overhand right. They have shouted themselves hoarse, imploring Parker down the stretch to put it in, and he has tried.
No, Parker's rushing him. A little bit more urgency. Hughie needs to get that uppercut into play.
Oh, lovely uppercut there from Fury too. I think that might have been a low blow from Parker, but they go on inside the final minute of this one.
For me, he's 40 seconds away from being the champion of the world. Fury. Oh.
TBC. To be confirmed. Who knows? Maybe to be continued too. Fury gets through with a shot, but Parker shoves him off using his strength. He's got 30 seconds to hold on to his title.
He's looking to dip down with that left hook there, Parker. Just haven't been able to find that one big shot of him, just to stop the movement of Fury.
Fans on their feet now. And chanting Hughie, imploring him home, willing him over the line. And still Parker forces himself forward. As the final bell goes, they celebrate here in Manchester as if we have a new champion, but that has to be decided. Way too many people overzealous invading the ring in the heat of the moment. They think it's been done. I wait to see. Given the last few weeks, given the boxing that we know, I wait to see.
I think sort of tactically it sort of turned out the way that Fury would have thought. There's Parker. If he could have landed with that right hand earlier on in the fight, just to maybe slow down the movement of Fury, I think it would have been a little bit more effective. I just think, for me, the footwork of Parker was a little bit too slow. Or the footwork of Fury was a little bit too fast for him, and the change of direction was the key, I think, for what I think is a Fury win.
Just above us, Big Tyson with a warm embrace with his cousin. Well, listen, what a story that would be if it's to be realised. Let's wait and see, folks. But two brothers with two sons who become heavyweight champion of the world. Parker and his team, as it stands right now, it's their belt. Who in the eyes of the judges deserves it? Who in the eyes of the judges has done most to merit being WBO champion of the world?
This is the anxious, horrible time for any fighter.
I cannot imagine. Cannot imagine.
Unless you think you've done a Kawasaki Lacey sort of performance, then you're always tentative and horrible. It's just the worst moment ever.
Well, Barry's been there and done it, and he has savoured and enjoyed this very moment. Will Hughie Fury be about to enjoy it too, or is it a case of same again for Joseph Parker as we were?
I think the movement of Fury, the change of direction, confused in the early rounds and frustrated in the later rounds for me. Joseph Parker, who kept coming forward but just couldn't quicken his feet up enough to get close enough to target for me to have enough effect to turn the card in his favour.
It's like America, Barry. I've never seen so many people in the ring. It's catching on. I can't even see our MC if he's ready with the decision. Maybe they're still tallying things up. Marcus McDonnell's trying to clear some space so that perhaps the TV cameras can get a shot and the photographers can do so as well. They're ready. Are the scores ready? Let's find out.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. After 12 rounds of boxing, we go to our judges at ringside. Judge Rocky Young sees the contest 114-114. Judge Terry O'Connor and Judge John Madfis both see the contest at 118-110. It is a majority decision in favour of our winner. And still,
wow,
WBO heavyweight champion of the world,
wide
from South Auckland, New Zealand,
we have another
Joseph
seemingly
Parker.
Close competitive contest, as we did with Golovkin and Canelo last week in Vegas, and we have another 118-110 scoreline that seems to people ringside, Barry, wider than they were expecting.
It seems ridiculously wide, but I guess it's one of those things I'm trying to justify. I guess it's one of those things that when every round's close, if you just always favour, obviously the aggressive, which what the judges have, everyone could be nip and tuck. But if you favour the one guy every round, then you get a scorecard that is wider than what the fight seemed. I thought Hughie did enough, but then the judges didn't, and their decision is what means the most.
Now let's not forget there was one drawn scorecard in there as well, but let's just paint the numbers for you folks. That's 10 rounds to 2. That was viewed by not one but 2 judges, let's not forget. Jim?